to another episode of our Ask the Roofer. We keep talking about changing the name.
From Ask the Roofer?
Ask the Roofer, because it's not really Ask the Roofer anymore.
How about Interview by the Roofer?
That's hard to say. It doesn't flow.
No,
We'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something.
We keep asking for ideas and people are like, no, that name sucks.
I think that as a viewer, what would you like to see the name? They should put it in the comments.
They should.
Yes. Please comment what you'd like the new name to be.
You know what? We never did it with you because your videos are popular and people engage because it's you.
Oh.
That's why they never responded.
Well, because I have amazing content to share.
Yeah, it's the Lianne bump. You promoted it, said it, you were here, now suddenly it's
Well, thanks
popular.
for having me. And thanks for watching.
It's completely selfish on my part. So something you guys do a lot is pack or unpack. I've heard you talk about it many times. I've got friends that you've helped on one side or the other of packing up, getting ready for a move, or moving and then putting stuff in their right places, getting organized on that, so you start off fresh. And something I've heard you talk a lot about in those scenarios is, why are you going to move stuff that you don't use anyways?
Just had this conversation this morning with a mover.
So talk to us a little bit about the packing, unpacking, how to prep for a move, pre-move, post-move, kind of.
How long do we have? No, I'm just kidding.
2 hours.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect. We'll use every moment. So when you're getting ready, as soon as you start thinking that you're going to move.
Yep. Start throwing stuff away.
Well, yes, the easy stuff, because your stuff is like an onion. You've got stuff on the outside that's easy to let go of. They're broken, I don't use it.
Yep.
And if it's covered in, 1.5 inches of dust, you're probably okay letting it go.
Or if it's covered in 1.5 inches of mold, it's also ready to go.
Oh yeah, I had that conversation last week too. So when you get rid of those things, that's easy to get rid of. That's easy just to let go. But then there's those things, the next layer of things that you don't use, that maybe you spend a lot of money on, or you don't wear anymore that you spend a lot of money on. And there are places where you can sell those things. There's online estate sales. There's people that will come into your home and sell them. There's people who are single people on Facebook that will take a picture and do the selling for you. And then at least you recoup some of your money back. So not only have you let go of something you're not using anymore, but now you've got some money back for it, which makes it a little easier. Takes some of the sting out of letting something go.
Yep. Do you have like a rule of thumb? Obviously there's sentimental value, there's this and there's that, of reasons you keep things that aren't just a logical, hey, I use this often, so I'm keeping it. Do you have a rule of thumb of, hey, you haven't used this in X amount of time, or you don't do this, or something to let go of items?
So yes.
Okay.
And we tailor that to each client.
Yep.
So if you haven't used it in a while, have that conversation. Why haven't I used it in a while? If it's an item of clothing, is it because it doesn't fit? Is it because the style's off?
I got that.
Well, maybe you've put some weight on, or maybe you've taken weight off and it doesn't fit anymore.
Yep.
If it's too big, you're giving yourself permission to get heavy again, so you want to let that go. And if it's too small, you feel too fat, and you really should appreciate yourself where you are. And if you really appreciate yourself where you are, the rest of it falls into place.
Yep.
So if you're meant to lose the weight, or if you want to lose the weight, do you really want to wear something that you had 10 years ago? Probably not.
I mean, I keep jeans for forever.
Well, as a chick, we don't do that.
Fair.
We want to go shopping. And styles do change. I mean, for a while the wide leg jeans were in. Now the super skinny leg jeans are in. Then you have the medium leg jeans, which are kind of that middle of the road. They go anywhere. So unless you've got a whole lot of those, some of those others you could let go.
For guys, the skinny jeans are still not in.
Yeah, there's only certain guys that can get away with that. So those are things to consider as you go. I'm trying to stay on target here. As you go through your closet, those are some things to keep in mind. The other thing is turning the hangers around. I think we've talked about that one before. So as you go through your closet, it's easy to let go of the things that are stained, pilled, clearly don't fit, need repair. And those things that are left, if you can't make up your mind, turn all the hangers around in the closet, and then at the end of the season, any hanger that's still this way you didn't wear. Why didn't you wear it? Everything that you've worn is now this way. You only wear a small percentage of what's there.
Yes.
Every day. Now you do keep a few things, like you'll keep a few formal outfits, tuxedos, gowns, those kinds of things. Those are not
like
part of
5,
this.
6, 7 items.
Just a few things, because you do have to have those.
Well, for guys less, for ladies, y'all need more variety.
We do.
Yeah.
So that would be one way to help kind of strategize how to get through your closet. So as soon as you start thinking about moving, that's a great way to get through the closet. For the shoes, you know, if they pinch, they wear funny, they give you blisters, you can't stand in them for long periods of time, then maybe it's worth thinking about letting them go. And then do a Google search for a consignment store that's in your area and take things there.
Yeah.
I like to use the local consignment stores. I'm a small business owner. I'm an independent. I like to support the other independents. That being said, there are certainly enough chains out there. The chains are going to be a little more picky. The independents tend to be a little more, they work with you a little bit more.
Yep.
So those are some thoughts for the closet. When you've got household items, decor, things like that, or maybe you've just done a turnover for the way you're decorating, you can put things on Facebook sites. You can talk to, there's online estate sales, and there's other people, and you can move some of those things. And then of course there's always donation. There's a lot of charities, both local and large, that will schedule a pickup and come pick up for you, which is great because then you don't have to haul it. And you get the tax return for it.
Oh, it doesn't sit in your trunk for 3 months as you drive around talking about
Yeah, and you hear it
dropping
rolling
off.
around in the back. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah, and then you drive by 6 trucks on your way out and 3 different charity sites.
Yep, and then you finally pull it out so you can put the Christmas presents in at the end of the year.
Yep, the ones that you found in the back of the linen closet. Yeah.
Those, yeah.
So
No, these are the ones you buy to put in the linen closet and hide.
you can lose those for 5 years. Yeah. That way technology can become whatever. So that's the first thing, is let go of those things that you don't need anymore. Pay attention to cleaning supplies that you're using. Pay attention to what's in your pantry. Start meal planning out of your pantry to use up all of that. Why are you paying to move the food? Let the food sit in the grocery store and then just buy it in the new place.
Yeah, use up your food.
Exactly. Because some moves, I think interstate moves are judged by weight. So the less weight that you have to take. We did an unpack for a couple that moved across country. They were ready for the zombie apocalypse. I swear they went to one of those big, huge stores and bought like everything.
All the cans?
Every can. No joke. We filled the kitchen with the kitchen items, their pantry with the food items, and then an entire 2-doored closet. We recommended shelving because they had had a basement prior to, and here they were on a slab, to hold all of the extras. Now, in their defense, they did have a number of small children, but
not that many children.
They did, no. So
is there like a 10 can per child limit in your? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it depends on the family. So those are some things definitely to consider as you go through. And then the next thing is, what do you not want to have in your home? Like, is there a carpet that's got some wear on it? Even after a really good purge before you move, some things will still make the move that when you get them to the new place, you're like, why did I move that? It happens every time.
Yeah.
And then
as you're trying to get it up the steps and it's really hard and you're like, I should have left this.
No, then it's better. You get it up the stairs and you lay it out and then you go, oh, that's really ugly.
Pivot.
Why did I do that? So when you move into the home, as you're unpacking, same thing. Take a look at the things with a keen eye and just determine, do I really need to have 17,000 glasses when I've only got 2 people living here? Now, if you're dinner partying and you're having multiple different types of beverages, you may have an assortment of glasses. Most of us don't work like that. A couple of wine glasses, a couple of water glasses, and most of us are good to go. Or maybe a couple of bourbon glasses or something, but you don't need a whole lot of glasses usually.
Yeah, I think we've got like 2 sets of glasses, the mason jars, important.
Absolutely, we're in the South.
I get like the big ones, fill them with water because I drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water, well.
So 2 sets of glasses, the novelty plastic cups over here that can go outside and go anywhere, and then all of our any kind of decorative glasses, wine glasses or tumblers or anything like that are over in the bar section we've got. So
because that's where you use them.
Yep.
But you don't necessarily need to buy the glass that's got the stake in the bottom of it for the beach. Remember we had that conversation? So, because then you forget them.
I was a spectator in that conversation.
You were, it was good.
Yeah.
So there were these glasses that, they looked like wine glasses and they had a stake in the bottom of them so you could put them in the sand and we were having this conversation that you don't need those because you're going to forget to take them when you go to the beach.
Yep. But if a vampire shows up,
you're good to go.
You're set.
Unless it's Edward. That was the vampire from Twilight that like everybody was head over heels in love with for a while. Yeah. I think you had to be a girl. So, no, to understand who, yeah, no. So, those are some things to think about as you're moving back in also.
Yep.
So, what are you going to use? What are you not going to use? What makes sense? But then there's things that you're going to take that are mementos. And when you look at those mementos, if you have multiple mementos of a person or an event or something, do you really need all of them? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. The value of mementos changes over time. So when my grandmother died, we had a cookie jar. And it was this gray cookie jar. It was old. It was beat up. It had been glued. She had Stella D'Oro cookies. If you remember Stella D'Oro cookies, you have to comment because, and what were your favorites? We had the assortment ones. They were little, they were like this, and they had, some of them had white frosting, some had pink frosting. I always went for the pink ones. There were some that had sprinkles on them. There were some that had jelly, and she always had those. So when she died, I took the cookie jar. And I needed to keep the cookie jar for a while because I was hurting from the loss of my grandmother. But then after a while, I didn't need to keep the cookie jar anymore. I was okay with that. I had come to a point where the cookie jar, while it meant a lot, I didn't need to keep it.
It took you from one place to the next.
Exactly. So the value of it, well, the value hadn't really changed, but the value to me and my heart had changed a little. Yep. So I was able to let it go. So pay attention to those things too. Just because you held on to it doesn't mean that you're disrespecting something by not holding on to it.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with mementos and keeping things for nostalgic reasons or anything like that. But in my mind, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're keeping something as memento and it's buried somewhere in a closet, is it really we both rang at the same time.
We were both ringing at the same time.
Mine's just on vibrate.
I thought I turned mine off. I'm sorry. It's God calling in.
Yeah, video's too long.
Yeah.
Cut it. But if you're keeping something for that sentimental value, but it's buried away and you haven't seen it for 2 years, are you really getting that value out of it?
Well, you're not honoring the memory anymore.
Right. So how do you put that into a functional role where you're going to see it, or it's going to give you the effect that you kept it for?
Exactly.
Yep.
So a friend of mine had a grand piano, and they decided that to keep the piano in the room as a piano really wasn't serving their family anymore, but they wanted to honor the memory. So they turned it into a bar. It was really cool. So they like gutted it, took all the stuff out of it, and hung it up on the wall. And it had glasses and a place for wine bottles. And
that's awesome.
They took some of the keys off of it and framed them on top. So they had this whole wall. It was this really cool spot.
Very functional, but
still honoring the memory. So don't be afraid to break the china because nobody's using the china anymore. Break it. Make a mosaic table out of it that you can use. Do something fun.
Yeah. Nice.
So those are things that we see.
Well, thanks for all the tips again, as always.
Well,
I learned something every time.
Happy to share.
This was our short video too.
Yeah, this one was kind of short, wasn't it?
No, it just went really long. The idea was it was going to be our short video.
So yeah, so when you move, let go of those things that you don't need to take with you.
Yep.
It makes your move less stressful because then you're finding fewer homes for things and you've let it go, especially if you're moving cities, because now you know in the first city where those places are to take everything versus a new city, and then you're looking, all right, I need a place to take a TV and I need a place to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming back.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, assuming that you watched. Well, if they saw that, they had to have watched.
Yes.
Or they skipped to the end.
Or they may have skipped to the end.
That would be weird.
That would be weird.
Well, thanks again. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching this episode. Give it a like. Let us know what you thought in the comments down there. Share it if you feel so inclined. If you really like it, go to our page under follow. Click see first. That way you never miss a video. See it as soon as it comes out. And we'll see you on the next episode.